Anurag, a lot of people who've been on this, who have worked with you in the past as actors, who've been on this podcast, they've spoken about your direction process. And I mean, frankly, if there was someone who was not really an amazing actor and knew their chops like from start to finish, they would not be able to survive your process. You don't say cut apparently, and you don't say action apparently. You don't. Nobody knows when you're going to stop a particular scene. It can just go on and on and on, where the actors don't have their lines ready with them, or they could have been lines on that day itself. Is there a template that you've sort of developed over years, or is somebody whose works you've admired and taken some elements of that from there?
No. This is something that I have refined over the years now. Now this is the way I work. But when it started, it was not having any other choice but to do it this way. Because we had no money when we were making Panch or Black Friday or Gulal. When we were shooting Gulal, we were like constantly trying to find places that were lit enough so that whatever we shoot will be seen. So we were dependent on people lighting up their own homes in Diwali and we were shooting there. So we had to improvise the scene based on that. So every scene would change itself. Black Friday, we had no money to go and shoot. In the sense, we had a budget given and I wanted to shoot it authentically. I can't just randomly shoot in my street and say, believe this is Javeri Bazaar. We had to go shoot there. I've had to figure out constantly how to shoot to make it look big and authentic. One thing I'd learned, if your low budget films looks low budget, nobody's going to pay attention. So while watching the film, people can't say, isme to kharcha nahi kiya. So I have developed the style and then I've refined it over the years. And it works for me very well. And also having been very bad actor on screen in my early days has taught me how to direct actors and how to get the best out of them. And it's very important for them to trust me. Actors have to totally put their trust in me. Otherwise, I can't extract performances. If they doubt me, then it becomes a very scary process for me because my process is scary for somebody who doesn't know. But if you ask my team, they enjoy the process so much, they never want to go back to the normal filmmaking. So every actor and everybody who works there, they don't like going back to the normal world.
Right. Getting to your writing process, Anurag, and don't get me wrong, I have well, at least one friend I can think of, a huge film buff. She loved Bombay Velvet, by the way. But when she saw your segment in Ghost Stories, she told me quite honestly she did not get it. She didn't understand it, which is something that also happened to a huge extent when you did No Smoking, for instance. A lot of people quite openly said that, hey, man, I didn't get it. Now, there's one element of it, which is to say that, hey, man, you didn't get it, too bad, screw you. And the other is that, and which is the artistic side in the sense that this is self-expression. Some people might get what you want to say, some people may not, but this is what you wanted to say. Right, that's your expression. The second aspect of it is that at the end of the day, Anurag, you're also a communicator. And indulge me in this debate that if there is something you wanted to say and the other person did not get it, is that by virtue of that, is that somewhere that you failed as a communicator? Where do you find yourself in this particular debate?
No, that's totally my failure. That's totally my failure. Because no film is ever made with an intent that people won't get it. So sometimes my thing is I don't like to over-explain, but I want people to get it. So I try to leave hints here and there. And this one, Ghost Stories, I absolutely thought everybody will get it. But I got a lot of reaction like that. What are you trying to say? Because I was not just trying to say anything. I'm saying just the whole idea behind that was there's a woman dealing with her own trauma, creating her own things. And then Zoya pointed it out. I said, people got confused because you put the kid in there. So first people are thinking the kid is doing it. Then something else is happening. So people are confused. You're trying to say two things. So she explained it to me later, why people reacted like that. But it's always a learning process. It's always a learning process. Like, because the no smoking lesson taught me how not to make choked. Because I wanted people to understand it. I was attracted to choked by the idea, similar ideas which were like in no smoking. A woman getting money through the sink. It was magic realism. But I needed to buy it that how's the money coming out of the sink. The process of buying into it made me engineer the whole sink and everything, and the story and screenplay altered itself to adapt that so that people get this. So by the end of it, you understand everything. So it's a lesson that you learn. I thought no smoking, everybody will understand.
Did demonetization just fall in your lap in that sense as an element in the story? Was there a story before demonetization anyway? Or was it a starting point?
The script was written in 2013.
Right.
And then it came to me in 2015. And it was always about money coming from the sink, and it was always about the marriage. but there was no demonetization. And
Right.
demonetization made sense of the same script. It fell into my lap. I'm saying demonetization, people suffered a lot because of it, but I benefited from it in terms of making this film.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.